The axes labels that MATLAB outputted are all messy looking, so we're going to have to redo them. And when we redo them, let's think about maybe we can do them in a little bit more intelligent way. Currently, the center point here is 0, 0 in the model, but this earthquake actually began here at Cajon Pass and ruptured off to the right. And I think we can communicate that better to our audience if we actually make our 0 marker here at the edge of the fault and march along to the right. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to get rid of the old axes labels and replace them with some new ones. And the easiest way to do that is from the home ribbon here. Let's go ahead and make a text box, and let's start putting some text boxes down below our friendly neighborhood spot here. And I'm going to hit 0 because that's going to be our 0 kilometers. I'm going to actually center that. It'll be useful. Now, the easy thing to do to duplicate this here, I'm going to need to duplicate it a bunch of times. I'm going to need this one to be 20, 40, 60, and so on. Rather than going ahead and making individual text boxes for each of the remaining ones, I'm going to teach you a trick. If you hold down the Option button on a Mac or the Alt button on a PC, and you move your cursor right to the frame of this thing so you have the arrows pointing up, down, left, and right simultaneously. If you hold down Option and then click and drag, you'll get an extra copy of it. So I'm going to undo that because I'm going to teach you another trick. I'm going to hold down Option. I'm going to start moving it, and you can see I can move it all over the place, but I'm going to now also hold down Shift while I'm holding down everything else, and watch what happens. I can move my mouse up and down, but it fixes the thing I'm copying to only be moving left or right, not up and down. So it's going to be aligned automatically exactly where it needs to be to the other one. So I've got everything all set here. I'm going to let go of my clicking mouse first, and then let go of Option and Shift on the keyboard next. And then I can just go ahead and relabel this one to be 20. Oops, it's not quite wide enough, so I'm going to go ahead and make this wider here. And let's go ahead and copy again. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go ahead and hold down Option and Shift on my keyboard, click on that frame when I've got those up, down, left, and right arrows, and move over until I get to about the right spot here. And there's my duplicate. And I can keep doing this all the way over to the edge. You may have noticed I wasn't terribly careful about where exactly I placed each one of these things, whether they were exactly in the right position, left or right. And that's because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use PowerPoint to help me arrange them so that they are exactly spaced the correct amounts. And so what I'll do is I'll first need to select all of my labels that I have, my new labels, all the way back down to 0 here. And then I'm going to go up to the Shape Format ribbon. And there's this Arrange option right here. It has a drop down. Then there's one that's got an Align drop down. This is kind of useful to have. It's got aligning things centered, middled. But what I want to do is not align them. I don't want to line them up. I want to distribute them so that they're equally spaced horizontally. And I'm going to go ahead and select that option. And you can see that it moved everything exactly how much I needed. So I've got those there. Now I can move them into the position that I think that they should be. I think that they should be sort of aligned up with 0 there, so I can put them in that spot and then maybe move them down a little bit, and that's where I'd like them to go.